Oh, I noticed here I'm at 99.5 science. That is super duper exciting. So I'm going to go into research and development. And I've already pre-eyed what I want. And it's this one, simple command modules. It gives me the Mark 1 command pod and the KV-1 onion reentry module, both with a crew capacity of 1, because I want to start getting into putting Kerbals in space very, very soon. But before I get to that, there's one more thing I need to accomplish around the moon, and it has to do with, if I open up my contracts, oh man, I have been killing these contracts. There's only 2 left here. This Mun Probes contract. So this Mun Probes contract is to land probes in 3 different biomes on the moon. It's a contract that's been giving me money bonuses for achieving milestones around the moon, but punishing me when I get milestones around other bodies. So that's why I've been hesitant to start putting Kerbals in space, because I know that I'll lose money on, or not lose money, but not get very much money on those milestones. But once I land in 3 different biomes on the moon, oh, notice one's green? Oh no, I think I might only have to do 2. I did do a moon impactor. I never thought it, I think it might have counted that. Oh, a few streams ago I crashed into the moon on purpose, but I'm noticing one of the biomes is green. Oh, that's kind of funny. Anyway, maybe we only need to land in 2. I don't know. But basically, this is the contract I want to do. So this is going to be assigned to a new mission, and this mission is going to be the new Munar 4. There we go, create a mission. And I also have this collect science data from the surface of the moon. We'll obviously be doing that at the same time, so we'll add that to the same mission. And I'll switch to that mission even though those are my only 2 contracts. So what I want to do is build some landers. And so what I'm thinking about, well, I'm thinking of building 1 probe with 2 landers that will land in 2 different biomes. And then I was going to send a 3rd probe that has the materials bay and goo on it to land in a 3rd biome, but then come back to Kerbin, but that would be a separate mission. But now I'm not so sure I have to do that because I think I already got in the green. Well, we'll see. Let's build the 2 probe things. So what we need to do is build ourselves a lander. So I'm going to put my checklist way over here to the side. Actually, let's minimize it for now. And I don't think we need to look at the contracts. Landing on the moon is easy to understand. Okay, so we'll start with our handy-dandy Hex probe core. I just realized I didn't get the science that I said I was going to get. Didn't I say I had 99 science and I was eyeing this one and I don't think I ever pushed the collect? No, I didn't. What a dope. I want this one. Simple command pods. Grab it. What's wrong with me? Okay, now let's get in here and start building something. Alright, so we got ourselves, oh, I can see I got scrubbers now in my pod and monoprop oxygen fuel cells. Okay, yeah, these are all good things for trying to keep my Kerbals alive, but one thing at a time. You're going to be silver. I don't know why. I was in a silvery mood. So, I want to land something. I want to build something and its sole job is to land on the moon, and then it's not going to do anything else. Let's start adding on the science. So if we configure this, configure the unmanned experiments. I have not been down to the surface of the moon with any science, so both the telemetry report and the 2-hot thermometer are good to go. I want both of those, so let's put them both so that they will operate as soon as they are willing to do. And the thing to notice too is on the surface for both of these, they are biome specific. So that's good. I can also do, if I go to my Sciencey tab here, I can do a radiation scan using this Kerbalism Geiger counter. Put that guy on waiting. That is also, by the way, biome specific on the surface. I can also do, only one other thing, and that is the barometer doesn't work in a vacuum with Kerbalism, so there's no sense going there. And again, things like the Science Junior, I have to bring them back. I'll do that with a future mission. But What was I looking at? Oh, the double C seismic accelerometer. Absolutely. That is also an experiment I can do. We'll put that one on waiting. Now, one thing with the double C seismic accelerometer, with Kerbalism, experiments take time, and the time it takes to do a seismic scan is 14 days, 4 hours. So it's not something you want to do when you've got Kerbals around and wait that long. I mean, unless you've built a base or something like that. So I think this is an ideal science experiment to put on a probe. But you gotta have a probe that can run this experiment for 14 days, 4 hours, keeping in mind that a lunar day is 6 days. So that means 3 hours of daylight, 3 hours of night. So you want it to be able to run through those 3 hours of night. Thankfully, it only consumes 0.456 electric charges per minute. So it actually is not very, electrical demanding. So you only need a handful of batteries in order to get it through the night. So that is a good thing. And speaking of which, I figured out I need about 500 units of electric charge for this. So, let's see, how are we going to build this guy? Let's see, how small can I build this? I like building things small. Let's start again with the old Oscar B with an ant on the bottom. How much delta V does that give me? That gives me way too much delta V. I only need about 750 meters per second of delta V, I figure, to land on the moon. That's what I'm going to budget. 847, that should be good. It's going to need some landing legs. I do have the micro landing struts. I actually have 2 sets of them. One set is, I believe, Restock made them so they're less bouncy. But I don't know which are which. Yes, it's this one, are less bouncy. I can see that the suspension has been fiddled with, so I'm going to use these less bouncy ones. There we go. We'll deal with these later. It's weird to me how bouncy the stock are. That brings the fuel down too much, so I guess I should have gone with the bigger Oscar, like so. It needs, I would say, about another 400 units of electric charge. So let's add that. Probably, well, I could put in, no, let's keep it small. I can just put on 4 of these. That'll do her. It's always weird when you go part 3-way symmetry and part 4-way symmetry, but I don't see a reason. I know what I'll do. I'll put on radial, pressing R, and put 2 of them sort of around that strut like that, and then copy that and put 2 of them balancing on that side. It's not quite balanced, I can tell. Oh, they might end up on the struts even worse. A little closer. And then this way. There. Nope, that's not balanced. That looks balanced. That looks good. Okay. So lots and lots of fuel. I'll probably be taking fuel out. Electric charge. I don't need a lot of electric charge. What I think I shall do is put on 4-way symmetry here. Oh, I'm still on radial. 4-way symmetry. Tilt these on about a 45-degree angle, because this thing will be sitting on the surface. And down local. We'll slide these up. Make kind of like a... Oh, that's not very... Ah! Put that back on. Try that again. Okay, rotate again these to about 45 degrees. Don't be like this. Then go here and slide them up. I'm really having issues with this one. I don't know why. There we go. Up we go. I guess that's all right. Let's see. Should I bring the landing legs maybe down? Of course, I'm trying to avoid all kinds of part clipping issues. Is really all this is about. If I retract those. What if I took these and rotated them? Would that look better? No, that's worse. Well, actually, that's not bad. Oh, these are on... I went to 4-way. 3-way symmetry. There's no reason to have more than 3 landing legs with this. There! I'm going to live with that. I can live with that. And does that look 45 degree-ish? Shish. I think so. Okay, I can live with that. And it needs communication, and a single communitron will be perfectly adequate for that. There we go. And I'm just going to go through. I've written down what my requirements are. 750 meters per second. I'm sure... Ooh, thrust to weight's pretty low. Maybe I'm better off. I know I'm going to the moon. But when I do a powered landing, I like to have a thrust to weight. That's a lot. Oh my gosh. I like to have a thrust to weight a little bit more than 1. It's not that it's completely necessary when coming up to the moon to have that much thrust to weight ratio. But it's what I'm used to, and I find that if I have a thrust to weight ratio that I'm not used to, that I won't slow down fast enough, and then I crash. Okay, that's a thrust to weight of 1.28 with 3 ant engines like that. That should be good. So that's gonna make... I got an idea again. Lots of ideas. I'm gonna move this antenna. You'll see I got a stunning plan here. I'm gonna move this antenna up. I want to keep that node on the top there free. So I'm just putting the antenna to the side. I'm gonna move these solar panels again. Maybe I'm getting a little bit too picky. Is it completely obvious I don't have a monstrously thought out plan? What if get these solar panels again? Oxats there. Okay, take all this science off. It's in the way right now. Okay. Maybe 6-way symmetry would be better. For the sole reason... maybe not. Okay, you know what? I'm giving up on... I'm going 4-way symmetry with the legs because I'm just having too much battles with having different symmetry groups going on such a small thing. And then now I should be able to get easily 4-way symmetry on here. .45 degrees. All right. Drag these up. All right. I've decided I'm living with that. And then 4-way symmetry on these batteries. Actually, what I'll do is I'll come up a bit. It looks like the batteries are tucked under the solar panel and they're providing some. There we go. Okay. Let's get the science back on somewhere. I'm sure I can find a hidey spot for the science. Maybe. That's a little bit too high. There's our accelerometer. It's waiting, and I lost my, there's my radiation scan. And again, these batteries should be 4-way symmetry. I think I can live with that. All right, so we've got 1,600 meters per second of delta V. That is a ton. So we can start taking out a lot of fuel here. There's 906. That should be landing easy. I think, okay, let's start going through the checklist. So contract fine print I looked at, control it's got. I configured the probe, it's got the science it needs, it's got power generation, it's got electrical storage, it has antenna strength and instead of speed. That really is enough. I'm going to move that so it's not in the solar panel. Data storage, I told myself I only need about 2 megabytes of data storage, and that's what it's got, so that's fine. Propulsion is fine. RCS, it doesn't need parachutes, it doesn't need thermal protection, it doesn't need lights. Oh my golly gumps, lights, of course it needs lights. How can I forget lights? I'm going to stick some lights, just 2 of them, right there. And we're going to make these blinky lights. We're going to make them sort of a ambery color. Put the blink on. Hide them in there a bit. There we go. Lights taken care of. Engine upgrade should be fine because I think this has a 77 ignitions. That's easily not. Thrust to weight is good. Thrust to weight is in fact very good. Okay, fairing and staging. I haven't gotten to that part yet. So, oh wait, I want to move this antenna. All right, and let's retract this. Okay, so this is one probe. So what I want to do is mount this on top of another probe. And I realized as soon as I put 3 engines down here that I was going to have some interesting times putting a decoupler on that. If I had some small structural parts, I would use those, but I don't have them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my decoupler on the top, upside down. And then we're going to take this whole thing and turn it upside down. And then the other part of the probe's going to stick on underneath that. That's my idea. It's my idea. You're not allowed to steal it. So let's get a fairing. Let's see how if we can make this work. So I'm going to take a fairing. I'm going to stick that under there. I'm going to turn on those interstage nodes. I'm going to make the fairing the root part, just temporarily. I don't care about the actual fairing part. Then I'm going to grab my decoupler. Oh, shoot. It doesn't like being upside down. The fairing should be the root part. There we go. There it goes. Grab that decoupler, and I'm going to stick that right there so it's on a little base. I'm going to play with that antenna. I don't like the way it is. But now I got something that I can construct a fairing around. And when I'm ready to release this, let's turn down this force percentage like to teeny weeny so that I can boot this. I can let that go. It doesn't matter that it's going up upside down. I mean, that's perfectly fine. And what we're going to do is put in another hex probe right there. Make use silver 2. And make this hex probe the root part. And now we'll start building a second lander to go under this. I don't see why this won't work. I think it's going to look fine. Let's move this antenna. So when that antenna extends, does it get into the way of anything? No, I don't think so. Hack the antenna. There we are. Okay. Yeah, why not? All right, so what I want to basically do is take this second one and basically build just a second lander on it. It's going to have the same science. Thermometer. Oh, it doesn't like the fact that I already have. So it's going to have a thermometer and a telemetry scan on it. It's going to have the same... You know what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this a little bit higher so I can get more junk underneath. There we go. Let's turn off those interstage nodes now. Yeah, up and down are relative in space anyways. I'm going to do the same electrical solutions. So again, 4 of these OXSAT solar panels. We're going to tilt them at 45 degrees. Like so. Slide them in a little bit. Like that. We need 4 batteries. It's always weird with the... I guess that's what it's going to be. Oh, let's move these solar panels a bit. I can see that that's kind of goofy. Let's try that again. Why is that not... Okay, let's start this over. I mean, I should be able to center them on there. That's not 45 degrees. That's pretty close. That's 45 degrees. Okay. And then move them till they just touch up there. That's good. Then my 4 batteries. I don't like... Here, let's take this... Actually, no. Let's take this and rotate it. Oh, it's doing that. Let's take this and rotate it. Oh, that's gonna... No. Rotating the main probe body is a bad idea because at launch it's going to be wacky. Okay. I didn't like the way the batteries were clipping into this structural piece. That's all that was about. That was me being pedantic. Again, let's try this with the solar panels. 45 degrees. There. Slide them up. I'm happy with that. Okay. Need to hide in some more science. Again, a double C seismic accelerometer. Remember, this is going to be landing in a different biome, and these experiments are biome specific. Hide that in there, and the... there. And... I don't know. I think this is looking... okay, another communitron. We'll tuck that in here somewhere. I love little probes where you just jam everything in there. There's something I find just fun about that. Okay, let's tuck that way and then a little this way so it doesn't clip into that solar panel. There we go. And when you extend it, why am I having trouble finding... Because I'm not on the antenna, silly. There we go. Extend the antenna. I just want to make sure that extends without banging into anything. It does not. Retract. Okay. So, boomity boomity boom. That's got electricity covered. That's got transmission covered. That's got science covered. So I just got to put enough fuel on the bottom of this thing so that that's probably too much. Can't need much. Some more landing struts. And maybe a Terrier engine on the bottom? That's a lot. Oh, that's a lot. Here, let's fix this. That's there. This needs to go here. Yeah. So that is, according to, let's just make sure we agree here. 1,139 meters per second at delta V. What it needs is 1,890 to do everything I want it to do. So it's going to need more fuel. Okay, so take that off. Take that off. Take that off. Take this on. Take this on. The main mod I have going here really is Kerbalism. I don't have a lot of part mods. Oh, I realize those micro landing struts really don't. Okay, we'll use the bigger ones. The bigger landing struts. There we go. That's better. And that's 1806. It's a little short, but remember when it goes to do the landing, I can figure this out. Because it's going to carry the whole... Is there anything else it needs? Lights. It needs lights. And we will put on, again, just navigation lights. This three-way symmetry seems to be the theme. And again, the blink on. I'll make them kind of an orangey color. That's good. Change the texture to white to match the tank. Do I want that tank? Yeah, I want the white tank. It's the dark. I just put lines on it. So if I put this on dark, that looks okay. Now I'm getting into fiddle mode. Whenever I'm into fiddle mode, that's always a good sign that I'm coming towards the end here. I'll leave it the way it was. Okay, that's a lot of thrust. Can I get away with a smaller engine, like a little spark engine? Yeah, I think I can. If I take this, throw it away. Let's use the smaller engine. Smallest engine you can get away with, the better. And it will knock out a lot of this fuel because my delta V shot up with that. And keep in mind, by the time it's landing on the moon, it will be losing a lot of weight because the landing on the moon will be the last thing it's going to do. Yeah, I could have made a copy of just that first probe, but I don't know. I wanted to do something else. I just wanted to sort of have so that the whole carrier vehicle lands, and then that's what I decided to do. Might be more complicated than it needs to be, but that's okay. So, right now it's at 1,727 meters per second. I'm budgeting 1,890 meters per second, but a lot of it will be with this gone. So, how I can figure this out is I need, let's see, I got the numbers in front of me, but I should have added them up ahead of time. 700, oh, I'm backwards. 860 for the injection and 280 for the capture is 1140. So if I take out 1140 meters per second, which would leave this really ballparking it around 1550 or so. So 550. I can do math. So I take this down till it's about 550 meters per second left. Oh boy. That's not going to work. We'll have to call that close enough, but if I take this off, then this will eject. And now it has 804 left. I think that's going to be pretty close. I think this is going to work. Okay, put those interstage nodes back on. You know, this is the state in which it's going to be when it's going to do its landing. 804 meters per second, and I was actually erring on the side of caution, I think. He says with great confidence. There. Let's put this back. You know, why don't I err on the side of giving it more fuel? I mean, there's no reason to be. 1953. That should be good. That should be so... Here, a little bit less? No. Let's go with this. That's lots of fuel. That is lots of fuel. Start that in a retracted position. I'm thinking I got myself something that can get itself to the moon. I'm now into playing with stuff which maybe I shouldn't be doing. Maybe orange isn't such a bad idea. There we go. I think I got myself. So this is the true Munar 4. Let's save that. So the idea with this, yeah, overwrite the old one. Oh, the staging is a mess. Let's fix that up. And that, yep. Oh, now the fuel's normal. Okay, now I need more fuel. Glad I checked that. That should be good. Okay. And that can be dark. All right, so I think what I got now is something that should be capable of getting itself to the moon. Drop this guy, it lands in one biome, and then the rest of the vehicle lands in its own biome. Let's get a booster for it. So let's build this fairing. I need to come out a little bit. Like that. Clamshell deploy. 4 sides. Because that's my favorite setting. A little bit more on the force. A little more force. Okay, let's extend these legs. I'm just going to check. Save this. All I want to do is simulate the fairing separation. Make sure the fairing doesn't break any antennas or any of that kind of stuff. I am thinking, Dan asks, I would love to see some more Let's Do the Math. I was thinking of a Let's Do the Math. A thought has occurred to me. I'm not quite sure when I'll get around to doing it, but having to do with phase angles. That's what I'm thinking about. I think this thing needs more lights. It most certainly needs more lights. But all I wanted to check here is, does the fairing stage, okay, deploy? There we go, without breaking anything. I think that was fine. Let's terminate that simulation. Let's put some more lights on it. Yeah, I was thinking of a Let's Do the Math, calculating phase angles to go for interplanetary transfers, where those numbers come from. Because I've been playing around with doing a Duna video, and I started to realize that I've never really talked about that. More lights. I'm going to use the little spotlights in here. This is what I'm going to do. Little spotlights right here. Because everything's improved with more lights. And if we pitch them in and rotate them a little bit. Oh, that's the blink period. I do that every time. Why do I do that? Rotate. There we go. That's good enough. And then that will sort of, I hope, if I turn those lights on, kind of light up the inside here. Sure. All right. I think I can get rid of my checklist. I checked the fairing. Let's look at This fairing actually needs to be lower here. And let's look at a booster to get this thing to fly, and then I think actually I'm probably going to be calling the end of the stream on this one. Yeah, actually, you know what? I'm just looking at the time here. I'm getting so excited with my lander, but I'm thinking I'm saving this, and I'm thinking for the start of the next stream on Thursday, what I'm going to be doing is putting a booster under this. It has a mass of about 2.2 tons, so I should have a booster here. 2.2 tons. Yes, this fella here. This has become a really good booster for me. That fella there should be able to lift it up comfortably.